So, hi, good morning, everybody. In a lot of ways, I'm going to start by answering one of the questions that Yogesh had asked me yesterday night. It was almost like, he wanted me to do Vicky Kaushal and answer his question, how is the Josh? So, and then, but that was Yogesh in his euphoric style. And then Kamaljeet in his usual reserved but very direct, where do you think economy is headed? I knew that next question is where is Tech Mahindra headed? But Kamaljeet, I get all the messages, and I will only repeat what I said yesterday, that I've never seen so much certainty about uncertainty. The mood changes almost every morning depending on whether it is Mark Meinhof laying off yesterday or whether it is somebody else, declaring an investment somewhere. So, I've been in 3 conferences in the last 2 months. January end was in the World Economic Forum. Most of you read the newspapers that Europe was not negative. Most of you read the newspapers and it said US fear of recession could be not so, bad. And then I went into a conference in Saudi Arabia called LEAP. I've never been to a conference where a visitor was asked not to come in because the whole exhibition center was full. And they sent verbal notices. There were 170,000 people in that conference, which is not the most popular conference in the world. But 170,000 visitors. And again, trillions and billions of announcement. Then the third conference was, some of us just barely made it. If Manish Mangal is sleeping, please don't blame him. He hasn't slept for the past 5 days. Because that was at Mobile World Congress. Again, record turnout, record enthusiasm, people continuing to, come up with, more industry future-ready solutions. So I think in a lot of ways, the backdrop as I see it is, there could be some impact because ultimately, one day there is an organization which lays off, the second day the organization does not sign a large contract. But in my opinion, this delay, and I'm going to take feedback from all of you, that this could mean a delay, this could mean a pause button, but overall, our experience interacting with customers around the world is innovation, digital and business transformation is still a very huge conversation, and more we engage, we realize that the corporates around the world will continue on that agenda. Now in this backdrop, as you all know that for us, RISE means Rise for an Equal World, which includes diversity, which includes inclusiveness. RISE for us also means Rise to be future ready. And as you see through the day, you would realize that Tech Mahindra has been becoming bolder about being future ready every day. And you would see that some of the bold bets that we are taking, whether it is product and platforms or whether it is co-creation with the customers, it is all about being bolder and being future ready. Think about it. All those acquisitions that we did, ultimately they became part of the digital fabric that has served our customers. And I'm sure as the day unfolds, you will meet a few of those entrepreneurs who created those companies, and they're going to talk about how they've integrated into the Tech Mahindra service offerings. So clearly, for us, the biggest strength of the company is 1,279 customers, 1,279 people that we engage with, and we help them rise beyond all this doom and gloom, all this from resilience to continuously being relevant to their customer base. That's what drives us, that's what engages 158,000 employees around 90 countries and around the world who are energized to continuously deliver value to our customers. Just a quick reflection. I think it's been a great year. I think it has been, the last few years have been good. And I'm fully aware that in certain areas there is a lot more to be done. None of us is complacent here. When I look back again, as I told you, it is not only 1,279 customers, it is not only 158,000 employees, but we probably have one of the most stable, energetic leadership teams in the whole industry. We have one of the best culture when it comes to, and some of you should talk to people like Asit Trivedi, who is the head of our AI practice, who joined us from another company, Dilip Keshu, who came from Moon, I don't know, Dilip came from somewhere, right? I mean, he calls himself Born. Or Mark, who is from Born. I mean, please do talk to them, because clearly the culture, the desire to do better, desire to openly talk about the fault lines, I think that's what makes me proud, because all of us have built a beautiful company, and these results are just an indication. I mean, I know CTL and Jagdish will take you through more of this and about the enterprise business. That Q3 for us was 1 billion. And Vivek will share with you during the day on how the acquisitions have brought in a strength for us to deliver $1 billion per quarter in enterprise. Similarly, when I was with Manish Vyas and M&M, Manish and Mangal also. So Manish Vyas and Manish Mangal, we started talking to a few people at MWC, and they actually came in and complimented us that, guys, do you realize while 5G is still work in progress, you guys are delivering almost $1 billion per year from the 5G ecosystem or the 5G services that you have. So again, clearly we continue to do well, and in a way shareholders are also being rewarded, because beginning of the year, exactly a year ago, I had shared with you that we are going to take a pause on acquisitions. Not because we didn't want to, we have not changed our strategy. It is just that in this uncertain market, the valuations would have been unrealistic, and there was no point in going and making that effort in that choppy market. We had also shared with you our capital allocation policy, and to demonstrate that, the board authorized me to declare 18 rupees interim dividend. So company continues to be conscious of capital allocation, their acquisition policy, and very determined about improving our profitability and operations. On the growth side, we are doing reasonably well, and I'll share that with you in a minute. This is a chart which I borrowed from one of you. I mean, clearly they have come in and shared with me that we are not doing that great, because we are number 3rd in the growth matrix. As I told you, the Tech Mahindra leadership team is determined. We are going strong. We had hit a few speed breakers, and most of you know the reason of the speed breakers. The Tech Mahindra was primarily in telecom. In telecom, we ended up in 90 countries because our customers were in 90 countries. We didn't have that much of a base at that point of time. And when you address the top 2 or top 3 telcos in each country, you're constantly working with an industry which has had its own challenges also. I think, over a period of time, we have changed the portfolio mix. We have been working very diligently. We have already brought the portfolio mix to 41% of telecom and the balance 60% approximately from enterprise business. More important is, I think what you would see is that the company continues to grow strong because to some extent they built in a resilience also. The resilience that we built in is for our customers that they will benefit when they want to do global expansion, because we are in 90 countries. They will benefit because that reach that we got through telecom into an Africa or a Latin America, some days I can tell you that currency fluctuations does bother me. It's not that we are always that happy or gung-ho about all these countries. And we are obviously optimizing on that area also. We are also we are asking a lot more questions, and again Rohit will share with you that while investments and growth is on the agenda, divestment is also on the agenda. So again, top 3, happy that my technology team, I don't know where's the birthday boy, Nikhil Malhotra, is he here? Anyway, the head of innovation, Nikhil, Hasid, Rajesh Dudu, all these guys, they have made sure that we continue to focus on our technology. We have taken bets in the past, and I'm going to share with you, or rather the panel will share with you, a lot more what has made Tech Mahindra so successful. Just a pause here. A pause is, we spoke about what brought us to this point. The pause is now to say, what is it that we need to watch out? What is it that we need to know? How do we take into account the top industry trends? And what is Tech Mahindra response to all of this? So when we didn't ask ChatGPT. We asked this question to ourselves. What is the future of tech services? It became very, very clear that one of the areas we could do better is on focusing a lot more on alliances and partnership. Our revenue, which is influenced by alliances and partners, is approximately 30%. Industry average is at 40%. So when this 5 future trends came in, we immediately knew which area we need to focus in. And it's no secret, 30 to 40%, where is the delta going to come from? Focusing on hyperscalers, focusing on cloud, focusing on cybersecurity. And again, I'm going to encourage you to talk to Maninder, go and talk to Vineet Rajgopal. Both these guys are here. They will share their experiences and how 30% to 40% journey would take place. On the business transformation, as you go through the experience zone, and when you talk to Kunal, he would remind all of us. Kunal is officiating as the Chief Digital Officer of the company. He has had 4 designations: Chief of one office, Chief Build Officer, Chief Solution Officer, that he is now, at the moment, he says, all right, if there is a solution you want me, and I'll make it happen. So thank you, Kunal, for being part of the management team. So the point here was very simple, that we looked at our business portfolio. A lot of our business was cost transformation. Then the portfolio started shifting towards digital transformation. This is where, people like Manish Vyas and Jagdish Mitra came in and said, if the proposal does not have AI inside, if the proposal does not have, and again I'm telling you, this is the pre-generative AI format, which is, I call it AI linear growth and now AI exponential growth. So they had come up with this, that every proposal, every customer engagement, we will look at AI inside, and we have our own platforms. We have developed platforms which are, and we have also worked in partnership with others. So the point was very simple. Digital transformation to us always had an element of data sciences, always had an element of cloud edge computing, always had an element of AI. Now the question was, how do you do business transformation? And this is where I have to give credit to Dilip. Dilip, actually a year and a half ago, we were talking to a very large prospect in Dallas. And Dilip said, just before the presentation was being made, he said, can I turn the whole presentation upside down? Can I convert this pitch not to the IT folks, and can I make this pitch to the CEO and CFO? Can we all look at the CEO, CFO insights and then start the presentation? I said, little ballsy, little gutsy. I mean, we're talking to the CIO and we are saying is we are going to do a CEO presentation. We are not going to talk technology, we are going to talk business to them. But the fact is, and CTL, who is leading that pursuit from our side, would remember today it is going to be our top 10 clients, or it will become top 10 clients for us globally, because we discuss business transformation. So that is what is now becoming an habit, where you start relating to the business benefits. When you start relating to how a business would be transformed. Similarly, Kunal was in front of a pitch in Nordics. A physical security company now changing their business mix, where the business is going to change from not only physical security but to various other parts of the securities, which is perimeter as well as digital, and that transformation, we are doing it with the client. So I think again, a lot of focus on these emerging trends, and we try to self-score ourselves. I think we are in a good shape. I'm constantly reminded by my own leadership that one of the areas that we probably need to do differently. Obviously, the need to do differently is more on operational matrix and yield management. So what you're seeing a slide is more like an internal slide where focus is on execution, focus is on operations, focus is on productivity, focus is on efficiency. And the reason we are doing it is very simple, that when we look at geo mix, on one day we are very proud, the other day we also say, these geos, are they relevant? When we look at sometimes some of our service offering mix, we start questioning, is it subscale, is it relevant? Sometimes when we look at our own, outreach programs, then we start questioning. So the basic point that I want to reassure each one of you is, we are conscious of the vertical, we are conscious of sub-vertical. We have now got analytics at almost like the top 600 account level, where we know how do we make our customers successful and how do we make ourselves successful in that whole paradigm. The strategy wise, whether it is people strategy or technology bets, I think we are doing reasonably good. Where we are going to put extraordinary focus is on productivity and efficiency. And all four go together. There is nothing which says one part is exclusive. It has to be focused on people, it has to be focused on process, technology. And we have put all of this together. We have a Chief Transformation Officer, Atit is here, and he has put all these four together, and we have definitive goals and a definitive direction. Next dot now. Why not yesterday? I know you've been hearing me for a little while, So I'm going to now request a few others to come in and join me here. Guys, I'm not trying to surprise all of you. Some of you are definitely being surprised. And I'll tell you the reason I'm putting it is many of you have asked me this question last night. What is the future of BPS? Because we have a very strong BPS practice. Does this generative AI change the way BPS will execute? Some of you have asked this question, what is XDS? What is the role of BORN in XDS? Will it continue to remain a growth engine when there is a slowdown? Third one asked me that you invested in networks, you invested in 5G experience labs, you set up labs for 5G, you were the first one who went and acquired a software SDN company called Altiostar. How does that pan out for you? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly invite Biren, Dilip, Manish Mangal, and the engineering practice. Again, a key focus area, Abhirup. You guys can come up on the stage. Why don't you share your perspective on some of the questions that were asked to me yesterday night? Is that okay? Biren, Abhirup, Dilip? Why don't we start with Dilip? Dilip, as I told you, I was there for a very short while yesterday for the dinner. I'm sure you picked up more conversation. We have been talking about BORN and XDS being one of the most successful acquisitions and how it has helped Tech Mahindra serve existing customers of Tech Mahindra also. Maybe you want to give your perspective.
Yeah, it'd be a pleasure. My name is Dilip Keshu, as you know. I'm not from Mars. I live in Austin, Texas. It's been an incredible year. We have about 1,000 Tech Mahindra clients, and the big question was, can we sell to them? Because these clients have worked with Tech Mahindra to build and run systems. But I've seen proof that they'll work with us to imagine a future through innovation. So I'll give you a couple of statistics that might impress you. 2 of the largest luxury brands in the world are now signed with us this year. 4 of the largest retailers in the world have signed with us. 2 of the largest telcos have signed with us. We won 30 awards this year, 4 Webbies, which is like the Oscars. We have created a studio to do VFX, metaverse transformations, and we won our first contract with one of the largest studios in the world in LA. So it's been a spectacular year. Our work has been amazing. And I'd like to say one last thing. We are like the yeast that you put in flour. And if the economy gets strong, the warmth of that growth will make us like bread. And I think everyone will want to eat our bread. So watch out for this space. Watch out for XDS. You'll see our growth. Thank you.
Manish, 5G networks, I'm sure you remember the analyst calls. And I'm sure the questions and this is the first time, the only exam where you know the questions beforehand.
Thank you, JP. Good morning, everyone. My name is Manish Mangal. I run the network business in TechM. So as CP earlier said, I just landed from Barcelona this morning. We met with at least 100 plus CXOs in there. There are 3 fundamental things that is on top of each one of their mind. Number 1 is this whole idea of 5G and open networks is real. They are invested and mandated to do that now. Second is they really want to drive an automation as their primary narrative. And the third is 5G and the monetization of 5G and how they can do it. So I'm very happy to share that almost every one of them have said that they see Tech Mahindra as a very critical partner in every one of their network initiative. And that's not because it has been by accident. It's because we have been very systematically evolving our portfolio. If you remember, we were kind of a field services company before. Now we have evolved into a full stack services company for all of these CSPs. We serve more than 100 telcos globally. Last year itself, we added 42 new logos, especially in the enterprises, because of the necessity for 5G monetization by the CSPs. So very happy to share that the investments in 5G and experience that we have been doing is paying off for us. And as we look at the future, really us becoming a critical part of each one of their network initiative, I'm just excited about that one. And I think growth is tremendous because connectivity for them has become like an oxygen. And now everyone is investing into that one. So CP, with that, back to you.
Thank you, Manish. Biren, as most of you would remember from the various interactions we have had together, BPS has been my strongest growth engine in the last 2.5 years. Even the last quarter, they grew about 9% quarter on quarter. Clearly, the question that some of you wanted to Biren and me to answer was, is there a speed breaker somewhere? And I'll let Biren handle this.
Thank you, CP. Thanks for the kind words. I think we've had a good run. In fact, if I just reflect on the last 8 quarters, we've added more business in these 8 quarters than the 8 preceding years. Last 12, year to date, we've added 700 million in TCV, which has been the highest ever. And I think there's still headroom for growth, right? As of date, I have 3 verticals within BPS which are above the 100 million run rate mark. There are 2 that are knocking the door. So there's obviously scope for expansion there. We're leading with CX, but all the other portfolios are growing. And I think I'll come back on up on the stage later and talk a little bit about them. If I just look at the top 200 accounts, I think my presence is only in 50% of them. So there's a lot of work to be done there. But very proud that we've been considered one of the fastest growing BPO businesses in the world. Regarding Chat GPT in specific and generative AI, I think I was explaining it to somebody that we have to consider generative AI as a 6-year-old. It has a lot to learn, and it will learn from humans. By the time it comes to define the future of societies, future of work, as well as future of businesses, I think there's some time to go. So in the near term, I don't see major impact on our business, particularly on the BPS side. But in fact, there's an upside because, as I said, most of the generative AI investments right now require human in the loop, which means the bots need to be trained, monitored, corrected, disciplined, and a small step here and there can result in large market cap vanishing, as you must have read in the news. So in fact, we're already seeing traction on the high tech side because we are engaging with large service providers who want to train their bots. So I'll come back later, but thank you for the opportunity.
A quick follow-up question. You acquired a few companies. How well are you integrated, and what is the punch you are getting in your go-to-market?
Oh yes, so let me cover off all of them one by one. So we acquired Perigord Life Sciences, which is an artwork and labeling management company. I'm happy to say that earlier in the month I announced that actually that team is taking over my entire life sciences business, and that's the vertical which is heading towards the 100 million mark next. What we've done since the acquisition is expanded the service offering significantly, and are cross-selling that both to TechM customers as well as Perigord customers, right? Similarly, we acquired a work-at-home company called Eventus same time last year, and they've grown at almost 3x the industry rate in the last 12 months, particularly driven by synergies because their work at home practices as well as platform, we've taken it to our existing customers as well as opened new logos there. On Eventus, which is a CX tech company, we've again seen a large amount of synergies because they were primarily US focused, and our customer bases in the rest of the world have actually benefited from their offerings. But at the same time, there's been a large downstream benefit where we've been able to convert their consulting customers into our managed services customers. So really happy with the traction, but there's a lot of work yet to be done at CP.
Sure, thank you, Biren. I know we have in the past shared with you, for us acquisition is not only for capabilities, but it is also to extend our family, to serve our customers. Biren came in as part of the acquisition, and today he handles the largest amount of human capital for the company. So thank you, Biren. One of the prime focus areas for us is engineering services. We have taken a lot of bold calls in that area, both in product native engineering and in digital engineering. So I'm going to invite Abhirup to share his 2-minute perspective on where we are headed.
Thank you, CP. Hi everyone, my name is Abhirup and I'm from the magical world of engineering services. So we come to office with one simple goal in mind: how do I help my customers to design their products and platforms better and quicker? So whether it's the car that you drive, or the aircrafts that you fly in, or the health band strapped on your wrist, or the fancy dispensers that you use for your favorite soft drink, the mobile handsets that you use, or even the consumer products that you use at home for your daily chores, there is a little bit and more of Tech Mahindra in each and every one of them. In fact, 85% of the 5G devices in US are now assured by Tech Mahindra, and we helped a leading European OEM to register 250% growth in the India APAC region through 7 blockbuster programs that were engineered end-to-end from this very campus that you are in. And we beat all the COVID disruptions and made sure that our customer launched on time. So that's an incredible feat, which I'm very proud of. So we are a force in the industry, a recognized force. So we have the higher rankings in the industry, whether it's the Everest Top 20 or the Zinnov Top 10 digital engineering company, or the leaders of IoT as per HFS and ISG. We are a credible force to reckon with. The past few months have been very interesting for us because we expanded our global delivery channels. We expanded our Fortune 10 clientele. We won the first metaverse development engineering program. We started our first software-defined vehicle journey with Automotive Silicon Consortium. We deployed our large fleet management software with a commercial fleet in North America, and we are now engineering the first cognitive city of the world. You know, our group is very uniquely positioned. You know, there are 3 forces at play. On one hand, we have these decades rich experience on verticalized domain technology for physical product building, you know, the actual products that we use. Then we have our expansive knowledge in terms of connectivity, 5G, connected platforms, and all that we do for the connected experience. And now we have our AI, our cognitive thinking, and all the skills that we have on the future technologies. Now imagine all these 3 forces playing together. We are at the confluence of a sweet spot through which we can create the perfect phygital experience for our customer. So physical plus digital. And this is what our customers are looking for. So for FY24, it will all be about how we deliver these phygital experiences to our customer in the best way possible. We see growth in 5G, in video processing, in autonomous systems, in electrification, and several more. We are going to work with P-backed sales, and we are going to do more of portfolio synergy, and we are definitely going to expand more on the entire partnership ecosystem to make sure that we have a wonderful canvas to play on. So the future is very bright, and I can assure you that we are ready to rise. We're absolutely ready. Thank you, CP.
Wonderful. Thank you again. Thank you, everybody. what I just did was that I reversed, since Bharvi had said she's going to do Q&A at the end of the day, I just anticipated a few questions and I brought up leaders in. But what I wanted to again bring you back to this slide, that Tech Mahindra leadership, based on your feedback, is now focused on improving our execution index. And there are many small changes that are happening to make that happen. On one side, you saw the leadership. The other side, you will see the one office, which means bringing all the portfolio companies, all the acquisitions, all the competencies, bringing them together into one office and being more unified face in front of our clients. Obviously, we survive, we do well. As you all know, all our success stories have always been Manish Vyas starting a part of his US journey, or rather most of his US journey, by serving only one customer. So one office, one customer focus, bringing and rallying each one of us together, that is what has changed in the company. And I know when Rohit takes you through some of the matrix, he will be able to show you that those matrix, why they would work and why they are working. I'm going to actually skip a bit because I had a lot of help by other people to help me on a few slides. But again, just to summarize it, for Tech Mahindra, we are committed to remain customer-centric, client-focused, bringing all the competencies and acquisitions together so that we can give them more relevant, more meaningful solutions. We are definitely going to create 2 new streams of business. None of them is new. They are all work in progress, but we are going to share with you in great detail today what we are doing on products and platforms. We are going to share with you in great detail what the bold bets we are going to take on co-creation with the customers. And as I said, they've been work in progress for the past few months. So in a way, when CTL comes and talks to you about co-creation with customers, he is going to share with you where we are headed, what we have achieved. Similarly, Manish Vyas is going to cover on product and platforms. I know few of you have given me views that the services company has no business to be in product and platform, and we will answer that question also. Because clearly we do know that this feedback has come to us. We have always been listening. We are not doing anything in a desperate hurry, but we are definitely determined to take 4 bold bets, because Tech Mahindra is poised to be a better company, continuously driven by our 5 Ps, which is the purpose, passion, care for the planet. We have a separate session on sustainability. Now, the 2 other Ps that we have added, which is performance driven and products and platforms. So thank you guys, thank you. It's been a beautiful morning, and thank you for coming here.
Thank you, CP, for that.